with comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, just a continuation of the melodrama I left you with yesterday. Did I or didn't I get a kebab? I didn't get a kebab. I got a burrito. And it was fucking shit. It was probably the worst fucking burrito I've ever eaten in my entire life. The cunt who fucking made it, I don't even think he knows what the fuck's going on. It was an Indian dude. So there was a Mexican place up the road from me, real close. And it used to be a proper Mexican place. But the spot that it's in is such a bad spot to have a business that it shut down within like 6 months. And it's been replaced with a shitter, much shitter fucking Mexican joint. And yesterday was the first time I tried it. And fucking, it won't be open long. Put the fucking timer on. Unless this cunt is just some rich Indian guy who's started a business to get a visa or something and his parents are funding it, this place will be open for another 2 months. It'll be fucking closed by the time I get back from fucking the US. 110. Put the money in the bank, seal it up, lock it, vault it, done. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I've got this burrito and he's like spicy and I'm like fucking oath spicy. And I was getting a little bit excited. I'm like, spicy? Fuck yeah. This guy's an Indian. He'll know what he's doing. They don't fuck around with spice. And then I was like, well, I'm here already. I might as well get 3 tacos as well. I'll get 3 tacos under the guise that I'm getting one for my wife. My wife can have one. Did she want one? No, not really. I sort of forced it on her so I could get the tacos. She was kind of like, oh, don't worry about it. I was like, no, I'll get them. I'll get it's fine. I'll get the tacos. It's cool. Like, I mean, if you don't want to eat them, I'll have a nibble. I'll have a little nibble. So this new fucking Mexican joint, the cunt hands over the bag. Just quickly, sometimes I listen to myself fucking telling these stories and I'm like, nothing happened. Nothing actually happened. It was just, he handed over the fucking bag. I'm making it sound like it was an event. So he hands over the bag. Absolutely, literally nothing happened. He just handed me the bag. We made no eye contact. There was nothing. What the fuck am I talking about? So he hands over the bag and I feel it. Good weight on the bag. Some good weight. So I was a little bit excited. I'm like, well, if this works out, I've got a good fucking Mexican place because there's good weight on this burrito. It's probably double the weight of the burrito I used to get there. I get home. I fucking unravel the burrito. No, I didn't. That's not what happened first. Look, when I'm telling such a fucking important story, you need to know the exact details. I started with the taco. I started with a fucking pork taco, a pork one instead of chicken. I don't know why I got pork because I was like, is it pulled pork? He's like, no, it's not pulled pork. I'm like, what type of pork is it then? He's like, we roast it and then we cut it up and fry it. I'm like, that doesn't even sound like a version of a taco that exists, except for here. So anyway, I get home, I get a taco out, I take a bite into the taco. I'm like, this is not going to work out. I'm scared to fucking think what's happened to the burrito if this is taco. How can you fuck up a taco? It's bread, it's meat, it's some salsa-y shit, a little bit of fucking salad, whatever. It's impossible to fuck up a taco, but somehow this cunt's fucked up a taco. I tell you what it tasted like. It tasted like a shit fucking wrap. Some sort of like wrap you get from a fucking service station. A 7-Eleven fucking wrap. I'm like, this is fucking out of control. So I pushed them off onto my wife. I'm like, They're yours. You wanted... They're yours. You wanted the tacos, remember? And then I'm like, all right, let's go the burrito. It's a long shot. It's a fucking longie that this burrito is going to be fucking good, but let's go because that taco was a piece of shit. And I unravel the fucking burrito. It was wrapped nice. Good weight on it as well. Good weight. It could have been my new place. It's right up the road. I unravel it, I take a bite, and it's just chaos in there. It's fucking absolute chaos in there. There's beans, there's rice, there's lettuce, there's fucking mayonnaise for some reason. There's no chili. I don't know. He's mixed mayonnaise with like some... Like, I don't know what it was. It wasn't even a salsa. It was a tinge of spice in the top of the mayonnaise. And I kept on biting into it. I'm like, what is this fucking sauce? Why has he put mayonnaise in the fucking burrito? Then there's no fucking meat in there, just fucking sparse. I was chewing through fucking beans and rice and all sorts of shit just to get to a bit of meat. But he just fucking doused it in this mayonnaise. I don't know what the fuck it was. It wasn't spicy at all. Not even like a little bit. The first bite I had a tinge of spice, and I was like, oh, well, fucking, it must be in the middle. So I fucking kept on biting in and nothing. There was no spice. It never took off. That was as spicy as it got that first bite. It was a fucking mess. So that has put me completely off eating outside now. I'm back on it. I woke up at fucking 7:15 this morning, got out of bed, went for a fucking walk. 45-minute walk. Got down, found some fucking park, and it has, you know, those like gym equipment thing, the fake ones. I saw a fucking pull-up bar, and I'm like, should I do one? I'll just do one pull-up. It's been almost a month, and I haven't done a fucking pull-up. So I went to the bar, and I busted out 3, and I was like, that didn't hurt my fucking rib. It didn't feel comfortable, but it wasn't too bad. And then I'm like, fuck it. I'll just do 5 more. And I did 5 and I'm like, I'm back. I'm ready. I can't fucking sit around and do nothing anymore. So I went to the gym today and I am so fucking weak. It's embarrassing how weak I am. I fucking halved all the fucking weights that I had been doing. And I'm like, I'm just doing 2 sets of like 8 to 12 reps. At 50% weight, and I swear to God, I could barely get through it. I did 10 pull-ups, and that was about it. And I just did my circuit, and I was fucked. I had nothing. So I'm just going to have to ease into it. And then I went to the chiropractor today, and he's like, your fucking diaphragm is completely out. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? He's like, we're going to have to move it back first, and then we can work on your rib. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but it definitely doesn't sound like it's going to be done in the next 1 or 2 sessions at $75 a fucking session. I'm like, so the thing that's jutting out, is that a problem? And he's like, yes, it's a problem, but it's not the main problem. The main problem is your diaphragm's completely out. And I'm like, well, fucking, can you put it back? He's like, yeah, we'll work on that. And he's trying to figure out how I did it. He's like, I can't understand how you did this. This is like a severe injury. This shouldn't have happened. What were you doing? Was it a massive hit you got? I'm like, no, it wasn't really even. It was a pretty innocuous hit the guy gave me. It was nothing really. It was the twisting thing on the Tuesday that fucked it. He's like, yeah, well, the combination of both of them have really fucked you here. He's like, you don't really see this very often. I'm like, that's fucking nice to know. I'm glad to hear that. Walking's nice though. That 45-minute walk in the morning, I tell you what, clears the fucking sinuses out, clears the head out. By the end of the walk, I started thinking about fucking comedy. I was writing jokes in my head. The first 30 minutes, I'm just like trying to wake up. The last 15 was good. It was good walking. I'm going to do that every day until I stop. Tomorrow. No, I need to fucking do it. I've been in the gym today realizing how fucking weak I am. I don't even think I can pull myself together by the time I leave for the US. I don't even think it's possible unless I go to the gym every day and just do small little bits and just work my way up. I don't know. Fucking who knows? Whatever. I've got to go back to the fucking chiropractor as well. When's that going to fix? When's the diaphragm getting put back in? Fuck does that even mean? Anyway, it's fucking Monday and you know what time it is. It's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question that you would like answered by one of the greatest minds of the generation or any generation, comedian, philosopher, Craney, Le Boyle, then head to my website, boylecomedy.com. There's all sorts of shit you can do there. You can ask Boyle a question. There's a fucking tab for that. Put in your details, ask a question. There's fucked up Friday stories that can be sent in. Put in your details, send in a story, buy a ticket to the Canadian show. How about that? Vancouver, 6th of December, Toronto, 8th. And if you're really one of the true degennies, then you'll jump on the Patreon. That's the lifeblood of the podcast. That's what keeps this thing singing. That's what keeps Boyle fucking telling stories like. So he hands over the bag, the burrito bag. He hands it over. He hands it over to me. No eye contact, not even a fucking thing. It wasn't even a thing. I'll never remember that. That's how significant handing over the bag was. Anyway, if you want to keep that stuff coming, then join the Patreon. The link's there. Head to my website. You know what to do. Anyway, let's get to this week's Ask Boyle. So this week's question was sent in fucking quite a while ago by my man fucking Jimster Jam out there, and who gives a fuck. So Jimbo's fucking question is this. Did you know your last piss up would be your last before you went off on it? Where... Jimbo Jones, you have come to the right place. Yes, I did, Jimbo. Yes, I did. I fucking went on a farewell tour. How long you been listening to the podcast? Haven't I talked about this a fucking million times? But yes, I fucking went on a farewell tour, a farewell drinking tour with all fucking the important people I needed to drink with. I drank with all of them, and it culminated in a final drinking session at my mate Jake's wedding in Broken Hill. His wedding was the light at the end of the tunnel that got me through all the other fuck-ups before I quit. I almost didn't make it that far. Like 3 weeks before that wedding, I went on a bender with fucking my mate Andrew Roberts. He headbutted me. I beat the shit out of him, then drank for 2 days. My phone died. I left my wife and our, I think, 1-year-old kid just sitting there worried about where I was. And then I was like, fucking, I need to quit. I shouldn't even fucking go to this final wedding drink. But it's my mate's wedding. I have to go to the wedding. If it wasn't a wedding, I probably would have quit beforehand. I was that fucked up. But from what I remember, after the Andrew Roberts fight, I didn't drink for like 3 weeks. 3 or 4 weeks. And then I went to the wedding and I was fucking primed for the fucking wedding. And I told everyone there, this is the last drink I'll ever have. No one, absolutely no one believed me. Not my mates, not my mates' parents, not strangers I was telling. No one believed me. But I fucking went in there, and that final drink, I really, really tore the fucking joint a new asshole. I tore the wedding a new asshole, and now I don't really speak to my mate Jake anymore. It was so much fun. Well, I had so much fun. Me and my mate fucking Morgan, the most encouraging of my bad behavior, had the best fucking time. Even my mate fucking Horn, he was buzzing around too, but he spent a lot of it with heartburn, like he usually does. But fucking, it was a joy. It was so fucking fun. I got slapped by a lady with cancer for saying something to her. And then all the locals in Broken Hill fucking turned on me. And it looked like at one stage that I wasn't going to make it out. It looked like the locals were fully going to fucking kill me. And then somehow I managed to talk my way out of it. Honestly, I was afraid because I was surrounded. At the back of this pub, the lady who slapped me, who was a local, was like really not happy. And the locals really weren't happy. And I was fully surrounded by the locals, just by myself, hammered. And I was thinking to myself, how the fuck am I going to get out of this one? This is not something you should be able to talk yourself out of. And this is not the place where you go fuck with the locals either. Broken Hill is not the place you go fuck with locals. But I did, and somehow I fucking talked my way out of it. And then the wedding came, and I fucked up half the wedding. No, I didn't fuck up half the wedding, but I was very fucking drunk for it, that's for sure. I was hammered. For 5 days, I think it was. I was just, not even for like 1 minute, I wasn't hammered. I woke up in the morning, I just started drinking. Drank till I passed out. It was the fucking best. Then I woke up on the day we were leaving Broken Hill, wedding's finished, everything's done, and I was so violently hungover, I just had to keep drinking. And I was meant to drive half the way from Broken Hill back to Melbourne, which is like a fucking 14-hour drive or a 16-hour drive. It's a massive fucking drive. But because I was so hungover, I had to start drinking again. I was just shaking. I was violently hungover. So I had to start drinking at breakfast. And that got me through to maybe about 4 o'clock. I stopped drinking because I was like, I need to go to work. That's why we were driving back to Melbourne in one hit so I could get back to work. And even though I fucking was drinking a bit, as soon as I fucking stopped drinking, the hangover kicked in, the fear kicked in, the anxiety, I was fucked. I couldn't drive. I just couldn't drive. Every nerve in my body had been like turned inside out and I was just fragile as fuck. Horn was driving the whole way. Kangaroos were jumping out every 2 seconds. It was fucked. It was so fucked. And then I got back home. We got in at like 5:45 a.m. I had to be at work at like 6:15. And man, fucking setting up the crane on no sleep, that fucked. I was just like, I was completely fucked. I thought the crane was going to tip on me. I didn't know if I'd put the pads down right. I couldn't think straight. I was just a mess, a complete fucking mess. And then I finished work and went home. Fuck, that was brutal. The first 2 nights trying to sleep without the booze was just like the DTs, hardcore, just like bouncing in between the spirit dream realm, and it was all evil shit and like the real world, and you can't fucking tell the difference, and you're sweating and you think you're gonna die. It was brutal. It was a 7-day hangover, just a full week of just being hungover as shit. I think by day 6, I was starting to come around, but it wasn't good. None of it was good. And yeah, after that 7 days, that's when I started the podcast. I'm like, I've got to start it now. Otherwise, I'm never going to start it. So I started it then. I couldn't start it the day after I stopped drinking because I was still completely fucked. So once I got over the hangover, that's when I gave up. That's what I recommend to people. Go on a farewell fucking tour. If you're going to quit drinking, really fucking quit drinking for good. Go on a farewell tour. Meet up with all your friends. Tell them this is it. And then just have one epic blowout where you almost get killed, where you piss everyone off, where you lose friends, but you have the best time ever because it's your last time. and then just run with that hangover for fucking 7 days and never forget how bad that hangover was or is. That's how you do it. So yeah, that's how I did it. Anyway, I've told that story a fucking bunch of times. I hope it's not getting too boring. But that'll fucking do for today. Thanks for the fucking question, Jimster Jam, and I'll see you the fuck later.